Hello, my friends. Another dedicated candle review for you today. We're going to be talking about Kringle Candle Reserve Gilded Leaves. Now, this candle was part of their 2023 Fall Reserve collection, and it has actually been in my closet for well, I would say about a year now. I did burn it a little bit in the fall 2023 season, and it is a fragrance that I decided to put in the closet once that season was over with. If you're new to my channel, I am a seasonal burner, which means that there are certain fragrances that I burn during certain times of the year, and if I happen to enjoy the fragrance and I haven't used it up by the time that season ends, then I usually just stick it back in the closet and plan to bring it out the following year. So that should probably give you an inkling about how I feel about the fragrance on this candle. Now, this is, like I said, part of the Reserve line. It was recently restocked on the Kringle website, so I did feel like it would be appropriate to share a review for all of you, just in case you are curious to hear my thoughts on this one. I know that a lot of the ambassadors did do a review on this candle a year ago when they received it. However, I did purchase this candle. You guys know that I am a Kringle candle brand ambassador, but this candle was not sent to me in PR. I did purchase this last year, and so yeah, I always like to be transparent about that. This is their standard 2-wick tumbler type of format with the 100% white soy wax, and we have kind of these I would say transparent black vessels. That is what they typically use for the Reserve line. I know that these retail for about $34. The Reserve candles don't go on sale very often. I have seen them pop up on sale every once in a while, but they definitely don't go on sale as frequently as some of the other candles in their more quote-unquote normal lineup or their bigger collections. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about this candle. The pour date of this candle that I am reviewing is August 30th, 2023. Fragrance notes listed on Gilded Leaves are top notes of autumn leaf, mountain laurel, berry bitters, mid notes of tobacco leaf, fresh-hewn cedar, glistening amber, base notes of earthy patchouli, vanilla musk, and sandalwood. So to be truthful with you, this fragrance is really difficult for me to describe because one of the things about the Kringle Reserve line is that they tend to be a little bit more conceptual with these releases. And I do think that this fragrance is true to that, I guess that aesthetic that they were going for with the Reserve line. It is a very perfumey fragrance to my nose. I definitely get a little bit of those mid notes of tobacco leaf, but that being said, this fragrance to me is definitely what I would consider to be unisex, maybe leaning slightly more feminine than masculine, whereas fragrances that they have released recently in their Reserve lineup, saying the Smoke and Oak, or in their Halloween collection like the Skull and Sonnet, which have a tobacco note in it, those fragrances lean a little bit more traditionally masculine to my nose, whereas this makes me think of something a little bit more feminine. There is an outdoorsiness to it, but it's not fresh like a pine type of scent, not like that. But I definitely get some of that earthy patchouli in here. Now, patchouli is not usually a fragrance note that I like. I can't remember how I'm planning to upload these reviews, but I did do a review on the, the Farmhouse Pumpkin and Spice fragrance at Bath & Body Works. I can't even remember if that's the exact name of it. But that has a patchouli note in it, and that's all I can detect, and I don't really like that patchouli fragrance. But the patchouli in here is really nice. It's more of a perfumey patchouli that is really leveled out well by sandalwood and vanilla musk, which are some of those base notes in this fragrance. I do also get those top notes of maybe some berry bitters, mountain laurel, autumn leaf in there, whatever they're using for those fragrance accords in there. It is more of an outdoorsy, leafy, fresh type of scent. But this is really hard this is a really, really hard fragrance to describe because it's perfumey. That's really the category that I would put it in, but it's unique. It's not a fragrance that I have smelled with other candles. This does smell like a fragrance that that a sophisticated woman would wear in the fall. It's definitely a heavier fragrance. It's not a light, fresh fragrance. It's definitely more heavy. It's kind of a shame that this fragrance is not available like in the daylights or the wax melts, because when you purchase this candle, you're kind of like taking the risk on it because it's, you know, it's a larger format. But I wish that I could have a comparison for this candle, but I really truthfully don't. But the more that I smell this candle, I just feel like all of the fragrance notes that are listed here, you could probably detect some of those. But those mid notes of like a tobacco leaf, I do get the tobacco leaf in here for sure, but it's balanced out with that cedar, and it is like a freshly cut cedar. But the cedar isn't so strong that it, again, leans masculine. And then whatever they would say, glistening amber, yeah, amber, and then that base note of some patchouli lends, I think, a lot of perfuminess to it. It's really nicely done, but I just keep going back to, it's a very, very perfumey type of fragrance. It's unique. So if you are somebody who likes fragrances like that, I think that this is one that you would probably want to take a chance on. But yeah, the fragrance itself is still honestly a little bit difficult for me to describe, but it is a nice scent. Let's go ahead and talk about the performance of this candle. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it around here. You can see that I have some pretty good flames on it. In fact, I've only had this candle lit for about 45 minutes. So it's, you know, doing pretty well for me. Now remember guys, when I talk about the strength and throw on this candle was poured almost a year ago, actually a little over a year ago. So, you know, I don't really find with my Kringle candles that they increase with strength and throw with curing time, but you know, I do know that some people do believe that. We do have healthy wicks here. I do trim the wicks after each burn, so that way I trim off just any kind of like excess carbon residue. I could probably lift this up and you can see, you know, these are a nice clean wax pool that we have come to know with the Kringle soy wax there. Strength and throw on this candle, I'm going to give it about a 7 in terms of strength and throw, which is what I typically expect from a lot of these Kringle 2-wick tumblers. It's definitely noticeable fragrance, again, because the accords just by nature are very, very perfumey. It's not like a skin scent perfume. It's definitely more of a heavy perfume. And truthfully, where it is at, you know, I'm toying between 7 and an 8, because there have been times when I've been burning this candle that it's very, very strong. Definitely fills up and throws throughout my open concept living room and kitchen. But there have been other burns where it's not as strong, which I do find that to be the case with a lot of these Kringle 2-wick large jars in particular. I find that the beginning and the ends of the vessels usually have the strongest performance, but when I hit the midway point, for whatever reason, I notice a little bit of a decrease in terms of strength and throw. But even then, you guys, it's still pretty good. The issue I sometimes run into with this candle, you guys know that I typically like to burn complementary fragrances. I burn usually more than one candle at a time in my home. The issue I run into with this one is that I don't have a lot of other fragrances that I feel like I can pair well with this candle, just because it is perfumey and it is unique. Although the one fragrance that I have purchased from the Country lineup that I feel like complements this one quite well is the Golden Tobacco. That is in the Country lineup, and I do feel like that one burns nicely with this as well. If you happen to have it wasn't available this year in the Halloween lineup, but if you happen to have Scarecrow, I think that one goes nicely. I haven't tried burning this with Skull and Sonnet, which last I checked, I do believe that Skull and Sonnet is now sold out. But again, that fragrance is a little bit more masculine. I don't know. It just has a little bit more of like a masculine boozy type of scent to it, whereas this is just definitely a dense, heavy perfume type of tobacco fragrance to my nose. It's nice. I do enjoy it because it is such a unique fragrance. I don't see myself decluttering it, but honestly, it's one that I don't really see myself finishing this season either, just because I have to kind of, yeah, like I said, I really only have one other candle in my collection that I feel like I can burn with it. And just with me having a lot of fragrances that I need to review for my channel, sometimes working this one into my rotation, I don't burn it as frequently as I would like to. So like I said, this candle has been restocked over on the KRINGLE website. I do have a discount code with them. It is an affiliate code that's eligible for a commission. KD15 should save you 15% off of your purchase with KRINGLE candle. Usually doesn't work with sale items, but you can always try. But I always tell you guys, just save the most amount of money every day that ends in Y, whether that's using an affiliate code or maybe you want to use some rewards or just take advantage of sales. But this candle does get 2 thumbs up from me because the performance is good and the fragrance in and of itself is quite unique. And the other thing that I did want to let you guys know is that I probably will be having quite a few, I'm going to try to squeeze in a lot of KRINGLE reviews coming up over the next week, because they are releasing their, I can't even believe this, you guys, they are releasing their Christmas lineup or their holiday lineup on Thursday, September 19th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have been told that those candles are being sent to me in PR. However, at the launch date, it sounds like right now they are only going to have the medium and the large size jars available. The 3 wicks, the daylights, and the wax melts will be available at a later date. So stay tuned for a video. As soon as I get those candles in for I will film some first sniff impressions to share with all of you guys. But I know a lot of you guys probably aren't even ready to purchase Christmas stuff yet. I know that I am not, but we all know how things are in the fragrance community. They're always really like launching next season stuff a season ahead. So anyways, I did want to let you guys know about that, but I'm going to go ahead and try to get some of the KRINGLE candles that I currently have in my collection, get some reviews out for you in case you are wanting to take advantage of any sales or combine orders. Please hit thumbs up if you found this video helpful. Consider leaving a comment down below if you have burned this candle. What has your experience been with it? I always encourage you guys to give your feedback because I am one of many voices within our candle community, and it's always beneficial to hear from others what their burn experience has been or what fragrance notes they're picking up that I might not be picking up. I think that always goes a long way in helping us make our purchasing decisions. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. I like to do lots of dedicated reviews like this, as well as hauls, empties, and everything in between. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.